is a banned. The proposal's being put forward by the Reserve Bank, but small businesses are worried they won't be able to absorb the transaction costs and will need to raise prices. RBA Governor Michelle Bullock says the issue will be addressed.
As fewer Australians are using cash to pay for things, there's the high cost of accepting card payments, and this is especially the case for small businesses. There's also difficulties for businesses in comparing or switching payment providers to find better deals, and greater transparency of costs could help here.
Research has found use of an anti-nausea medication is linked to higher survival rates in women with triple-negative breast cancer. Studies found women given the medication with their chemotherapy had a 17% lower risk of cancer-related death and a lower rate of cancer reoccurrence. Senior author Dr. Asen Chang says the next step is finding out why.
We are trying to apply for more funding to understand why this is the case and most likely how this drug, epipeptide, interacts with current cancer treatment like chemotherapy.
Now turning to FIVEAA sport, a special day for cricketer Mitch Starc. He's taken career best figures in his 100th test. The third and final test between Australia and the West Indies ending in spectacular fashion with the Windies all out for 27. They set a test record with 7 players out for a duck in the same innings. Scott Boland became the 10th Aussie to claim a test hat-trick as we sealed the series with a clean sweep. Mitch Starc named player of the match and series after the fastest 5-wicket haul in history. Skipper Pat Cummins proud of how his side performed.
This match was madness today, just seemed to be played in fast forward. But no, great series. I think every test match there was some testing moments where it felt like, it could have gone either way. But really proud of the group, how they managed to find their way through those. Pretty challenging for the batters the whole series.
Ebony Marinoff and Sarah Allen will again co-captain the Adelaide Crows as the club gears up for season 2025. Eloise Jones, Jess Allen, Anne Hatchard and Chelsea Bedell will round out the 6-player leadership team. And Britain's Simon Yates has won stage 10 of the Tour de France, while Ben Healy has become the first Irishman to hold the yellow leaders jersey in 38 years. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Afternoon at Clearview, a smash on Grand Junction Road near Hampstead Road. Woodville North, truck and car collision on Torrens Road near Hanson Road. Campbelltown, Burstwater Main Gorge Road near Lower North East Road and Coromandel Valley. Burstwater Main Road near McNamara Road. Cameras this afternoon, McGill Road, McGill and Greenhill Road at Burnside. Panadol helps relieve everyday pain. Not the pain of looking for a parking spot, but for the headache it gives you. Panadol Rapid's got you covered. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Incorrect use could be harmful. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Leaky gutters? Fix them for a fraction of the price of new gutters. Gutser.com.au.
A shower or two today, 15. More of the same tomorrow, 16. Showers easing on Thursday, also 16. And 16 again for Friday. Right now, 13. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
In your suburb.
Good evening from Port Noarlunga.
Across your state.
A sombre scene here in Bordertown tonight.
9 News is covering the stories that matter to South Australians.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
South Australian parents urged to be extra vigilant.
Because your home is our home. Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
To think that we're still having to address this. Port Adelaide Footy Club is aware and condemns in the strongest possible way racist abuse directed at Chase Burgoyne following last night's game. Again, it's through social media. It's a carrier of hate, and I've said it forever.
This has got to stop.
The FIVEAA Sports Show.
Come on, AFL.
Start taking people to court, put them away for it.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on FIVEAA. Always Adelaide.
Transform your home with the Inspired by Life sale at Choices Flooring. Save on a range of stylish carpet, timber, rugs and window furnishings. Visit choicesflooring.com to download the catalogue or visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom today.
If you're outgrowing your home, it could be time to select a granny flat. At Selector Homes, we've been building transportable granny flats for over 25 years. And now we can build them on a slab, which means your whole home and new granny flat are on the same level. No stairs and seamless living. Also, we can build to the perimeter of your block, saving you space. Fixed price, no hidden costs. Walk through the Haven Granny Flat at the Selector Homes Display Village. Port Wakefield Road, Burton.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
So legendary singer-songwriter Graham Connors is coming back to Adelaide. He's bringing the Road Less Travelled tour to the Gov on Thursday, the 31st of July. It's your chance to see a legend in the flesh, playing just an amazing catalogue of hits. He joins me this afternoon. Graham, thanks so much for your time.
Oh, good on you, Leith. It's lovely to chat, and hello to all your listeners in the Adelaide region.
It's lovely to have you coming to Adelaide, Graham. We often get bypassed here in Adelaide, and we're starting to get a little bit annoyed with it, to be honest. So someone of your ilk coming to see us, thank you.
Look, I've received quite a few inquiries. Why not Adelaide? And it's sort of like, well, we had this intervention called bloody COVID that seemed to have just took the wind out of our sails. I didn't have a tour organised around that time, so a lot of people did. By the time they've worked their way through the system, it's now our turn to get back on the road. So we're delighted, and I can't wait to get to the Gov on the 31st. It'd be wonderful.
When you see a significant milestone like 50 years in the industry, I look now at my kids, Graham, and they're 16 and 14. I think, where did that time go? Yours is half a century. Have you been amazed at how fast those decades have gone?
I certainly, to me, it only feels like yesterday that I finished school, jumped on a Fokker Friendship, flew to Brisbane, was picked up and went and opened the show for Kamal up in Toowoomba. And it's like, that's 50 years ago. That was in Christmas, just prior to Christmas in 1973. And then, 50 years goes by in a flash, 20 albums, a book now of lyrics, 215 recorded songs.
Yes.
I mean, I keep thinking of tomorrow. I never think about the past, but the break we had gave me an opportunity to sort of think, how many songs have I done and where are they? And because other people as varied as John Denver or John English, Slim Dusty have recorded my tunes, and as well as my own. And it does. You got to pinch yourself sometimes. And I'm just so happy and privileged that I'm still doing what I loved when I started.
I don't say this to age you, Graham. This is more a celebration of your longevity. You started before I was born, and
Isn't that wonderful?
I feel old. But that's amazing that any time you can have a career like that. As you say, it's such a credit to you. When you write so many songs and you've had so many albums, again, I don't mean this rudely, I wonder if you forget some of them because you're so prolific. There might be songs that you haven't revisited for years.
There were songs in the early 90s when I was a bit of a songwriter for hire, sort of the 80s and 90s, and I was writing songs for other people. And they're the songs that I had to really look hard because a lot of them were recorded on vinyl records and early CDs. And, now we're in this digital age. Some of them haven't made the transition across to the streaming formats. These are lesser songs. You'd have to say they weren't hits, but I wrote them. I'm proud of them. And when I was putting the book together, I rediscovered them. And there's still a couple of songs that I've found since. I know it sounds blasé to say I'd forgotten I'd written them, but it's a long time back, And my career, I don't feel my age. When you're working in creative industries, tomorrow is always some sort of enthusiastic feeling of what can I do tomorrow that'll be better than I've done in the past. And right now we have a new album in the works. It's being mastered as we speak, and that'll come out towards the end of the year, early next year. I still feel like I'm a voice in the conversation, and that is, I feel privileged that I'm still in that phase of my life.
Graham Connors is my guest. The tour is called The Road Less Travelled. The book you speak of is My Lyrical Life, which, as you mentioned, you talk about your songs and stories and songs that you've recorded other artists. Do you get a different kind of fulfillment and enjoyment from singing your own songs as well as having others sing them, Graham? So I was looking at the Slim Dusty connection with you. I think Slim recorded something like 12 of your songs.
12 or 13 years, yeah.
You think, hey, I mean, he's an icon like yourself. To have someone who wants your music, that must be a great feeling too.
that happened at a time when I didn't really have my own career. That was pre-North. North was where I found my voice, and where, a little further north each year, Cyclone Season, Let the Cane Fields Burn, all those songs sort of drew attention to me as an artist. Prior to that, I was so, to have another artist record your work was amazing. Slim recorded We've Done Us Proud, which became a sort of the song of the bicentennial back in 1988. And when I do that song to this day, I wrote it. I know I wrote it, but I still feel in many ways it's like Slim's song, because they put a huge Sydney orchestra behind the recording, and he made it this beautiful anthem. And to this day, a lot of school kids sing it at various end-of-year celebrations, along with something like Being Here, which is a song I wrote for the Sydney 2000 Paralympic Games opening and closing ceremonies.
Yes.
They're songs that have stood the test of time, and they indicate me as a songwriter, though, more than an artist. So on this tour, I'm performing some of those songs that were made well-known by other artists, alongside the songs that have been totally significant for my career.
Are you the nostalgic type? Do you look back and think of the memories of John English and John Denver making your songs hits, or working with Chris Christopherson and opening for him, as you say, the Paralympics, sporting themes, all of those kind of things? I know you're very much looking forward, but is there a chance for you in quiet times to look back and go, you know what, I've done a lot, I've achieved a lot?
Leith, I really do have occasional quiet times in which I'll say, was that me? Yes, it was. But I'm constantly reaching forward. We have 5 sons. We have a whole, have grandchildren. With life is moving forward, and it looking back is something that I don't do a lot of.
Yes.
I do say how fortunate I am that I came through the music industry at a time when songwriting and recording was in many ways more respected than it has become, because there's just so much music available on streaming services and everything else that, albums have gone the way of the past. It's now song by song. So I feel like I was privileged to ride one enormous wave. I'm still on it. But it's like, you have to say, you're a lucky man, Graham. I'm the luckiest man I know.
It's funny, Graham, when I speak to legends like yourself, they all, and I sense this with you too, we talk about the accolades, the Roll of Renown, APRAs, ARIAs, Golden Guitars, all of that. And that's nice. But I think for true legends of the industry, people like yourself, it's more about pressing the flesh with people. It's more about shows like we'll see here at the Gov, where you get to resonate with people in the same room and they can see you face to face, and vice versa. You'll be singing songs that mean so much to them. The awards are nice, but that's where the true sort of reward is, I guess, with an audience.
It is, because, rewards, as beautiful as they are, come so long after the event that quite often you feel a little detachment to it. When you're standing on stage working to an audience live, you're in the here and now, and I'm so fortunate that over the many, many years of touring, there's a loyalty amongst a lot of my supporters and friends and fans that it feels like you're coming back to family in a way. And I have musicians who I've toured with for many years. We know each other's thoughts before they happen, and a live concert, every concert is different, but every concert, the focus is upon making an experience for the audience to take home and say, well, didn't I just have a great night? And that's the whole point of what we're doing.
That's why we want everyone to get to the Gov on Thursday, the 31st of July. The legendary singer-songwriter Graham Connor's The Road Less Travelled. It's part of the My Lyrical Life Tour, celebrating 50 years in the musical industry. Many more years to come. Congratulations on what you've achieved, Graham, and thank you so much for coming to see us here in Adelaide.
Thank you, Leith. We're really looking forward to it, and I really appreciate your interest and support.
that grows more confused each day. The temptation gets stronger for an easy way. Cut that corner, play the lottery, bend the rules a little when no one can see. But it gets us nowhere, 'cause the truth within says it's not the being there, but the journey that matters in the end. So take the road less traveled, take the long way round, let your life unravel as you cover that ground. Ride high in the saddle, face the world alone, take the road less traveled and find your own way home. With the time we're given and all we wanna do, occasionally a little fear may creep up on you, and those voices whisper in back of your head, why try so hard? Give up instead. But it gets us nowhere, 'cause the heart still knows if our lives are to have any meaning, there's only one way to go. Take the road less traveled, take the long way round, let your life unravel as you cover that ground. Ride high in the saddle, face the world alone, take the road less traveled and find your own way home. Take the road less traveled, take the long way round, let your life unravel as you cover that ground. Ride high in the saddle, face the world alone, take the road less traveled and find your own way home. Take the long way round, let your life unravel as you cover that ground. Ride high in the saddle, face the world alone, take the road less traveled and find your own way home. Take the road less traveled, find your own way home.
The road less travelled is here in Adelaide at the Gov Thursday night, the 31st of July. You can get your tickets at Oztix or at the Gov's website. 23 minutes after 3, a short break. We'll let you know who's coming up after 3:30 and what we need from you for Turkey Tuesday. That's all on the way. It's the live stream thanks to Complete Care, Facebook and YouTube.
Are you or someone you know living with epilepsy? 1 in 25 Australians will develop epilepsy at some stage in their lives. The Epilepsy Centre in Adelaide is dedicated to raising awareness in the community to reduce the stigma and create a more welcoming and inclusive society. We do this by providing epilepsy awareness and seizure first aid to people living with epilepsy, their families and friends. Thanks to state government funding, we can offer this education at no cost. For more information, go to epilepsycentre.org.au.
Your daily cup of OTR just got a whole lot richer. Buy NEC coffee for a chance to win $1,000 daily when you scan the OTR app. In September 2, T's and C's apply. SAP 25/835. OTR. Serving up seriously good coffee.
They say 20,000 hours in any field makes you master of it. So imagine what 160 years makes you. For more than 160 years, Anglicare SA has supported South Australians in need. Whether it's gardening, meal prep, housework or transport to appointments, Anglicare SA gives seniors as much or as little support as they need. For more on Anglicare SA's coordination and clinical services, visit anglicaresa.com.au.
The SA Weekend Escapes travel voucher giveaway is back. That's right, SA Weekend Escapes is giving away $75 travel vouchers for your next winter getaway at over 20 hotels across South Australia. Think Barossa Valley, Clare Valley, Kangaroo Island, or even a cosy Adelaide CBD stay. It's your voucher, your choice, your escape. So what are you waiting for? Visit saweekendescapes.com.au and grab your $75 travel voucher today. T's and C's apply.
When you book a hearing test with Can Do Hearing, you'll be seen by an accredited audiologist. Can Do Hearing is South Australian and we're not owned by a hearing aid manufacturer. This means we only recommend what's going to work for you, and your options are almost endless. Plus the extra bonus, our profits go to Can Do for Kids, supporting local kids living with hearing and vision loss. Book an appointment with Can Do Hearing today. candohearing.com.au. That sounds better.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Thanks for listening to us on this Tuesday and watching us on the live stream, YouTube and Facebook. Thank you to Complete Care. That's complete with a K. One of our text messages just before we get to headlines said, Leith, that is real country music, Graham Connors. Well, yeah, I think it is. And I love Graham. He's such a lovely guy and a legend of the industry too. You don't get on the Australian Roll of Renown without being a legend. Numerous Golden Guitar winner. I want to say 13, 14, 15. Maybe Blake will find that for me. But he's in the teens for sure. And was once voted a icon of Queensland too. So your chance to see a legend up close here at the Gov in a couple of weeks' time. We're going to get to headlines early. On the other side, you're going to hear from the international voice of Formula One in David Croft. I'm not stealing the Sport Show Boys information because he's in a new film. He's in a great film called F1. It's the new Brad Pitt film about Formula One. Crofty makes a couple of cameos and his voice is all through it. So we'll speak to him about that, what it's like to be in a huge Hollywood blockbuster. On the end of that, for our Turkey Tuesday, this is a great film. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. We want to find out Turkey films, though. What have you seen of recent times on the big screen, on the small screen? That was no good. What film was rubbish? What was a turkey? 8223 0000. 6 bottles of the Turkey Flat Vineyards wine to give away. So we would love to take your calls. What have you seen of recent times that was a turkey, movie-wise? 8223 0000. Join us and David Croft next.
5AA Weekend Breakfast. Mike Keelan and Angie McBride.
Aussie Jordan Thompson, he's reached the top 16 in Wimbledon, as well as Daria Katsakina. She's playing as well, so so good luck to them.
Weekends from 6 a.m.
I can handle a bit
Katsakina. Yeah.
On 5AA, always Adelaide.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. With 40 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Natasha from Go Vita Fairview Green. Boost your gut, joint and immune health with Best of the Bone. Nutrient-dense, collagen-rich bone broth concentrates. Just add hot water. Get 20% off the Best of the Bone concentrates. Limited time only.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Manapara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
John Williamson is coming to Adelaide.
A true blue.
How you going, folks? Join me on my 55-year anniversary tour. My travelling days are done.
It's raining on the rock.
I'll be playing all my old favourites and songs from my new album. How many songs?
Beautiful world.
Can't wait to see you there.
They come from you. John Williamson, Her Majesty's Theatre, Friday, July 25. Book now at Ticketek. Supported by 5AA.
Shot, Georgie.
Stay on him, Ashy.
Well done, Georgie.
Come on, Ashy.
Get him,
Go,
Georgie.
Ashy.
Go now.
Ashy.
Pick your head up. Get after him.
Jeez. You know what's more competitive than those two? Hyundai's offers across a wide range of new and demonstrator models like the Dynamic Tucson. From $39,990 drive away, it's game on at your participating Hyundai dealer today. T's and C's and exclusions at hyundai.com.au.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
Discover the heart of river cruising with Phil Hoffman Travel and Ama Waterways Grand Collection. Cruise the world's legendary rivers from the Danube and Rhine to the Mekong and Nile, with savings of up to $9,600 per couple, plus return flights from Adelaide. Enjoy award-winning luxury, locally sourced gourmet cuisine and fine wines, daily guided tours, wellness programs, enriching shore excursions, expert guides and more. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel today or visit pht.com.au.
When it comes to flooring, you've got the world at your feet at Floor World. Floor World has serious purchasing power, keeping prices low on a huge range of flooring options. There's wool and synthetic carpets, engineered timber flooring, laminate, hybrid and vinyl flooring, even plantation shutters and blinds. Visit one of our 4 locations at Jebbs Cross Homemaker HQ, 1027 Port Road, Cheltenham, 60 The Parade in Norwood and Manopara Shopping Centre HQ. Plus, mention this ad for 15% off.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. Businesses could be banned from charging surcharges under a plan put forward by the Reserve Bank. Around 800 more families will have to have their children tested for diseases after Victorian police identified 4 more workplaces of accused childcare rapist Joshua Brown. Port Adelaide star Jace Burgoyne's considering police action after being racially abused online. And in the AFLW, the Crows have named a 6-player leadership team with Ebony Marinoff and Sarah Allen co-captains. A shower or two and 15, at the moment 14. More news at 4 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Always relevant. 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Good time to tune into the live stream for Complete Care with AK. You're about to hear and see the voice of the Formula One around the globe in David Croft, because he is in a brand new film, which we're about to talk about, that stars Brad Pitt. On the back of that, we're talking about Turkey films for Turkey Tuesday. Turkey Flat Vineyard showcasing the new Butcher's Block wines. You can drink responsibly. What's the worst film you've seen of recent time? Big screen or small screen? What was the turkey? 3 bottles of Shiraz and GSM to give away. Let me tell you, this film is not a turkey. Lovely wife, lovely Jessica and I went on the weekend. Marion, hadn't been to Gold Class before. Full. It was absolutely full, and it was so great. It's a Brad Pitt-led film. It's all about the world of Formula One, and I promise you will love it. It's very easy to remember because it's just simply called F1.
Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was. But I see possibility.
And if you don't love me now, we'll never.
My Rook is a phenomenal talent, but he's young. You plus him, boom, I got a team.
When was the last time you won a race? Sunday, Daytona. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula One. Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
There's this new guy. He's old. He's such a prick. He's quick though.
If you had any constructive criticism for each other, what would it be?
Don't be such an ass dickhead. That was constructive.
Wow.
So the star of F1, the movie, forget about Brad Pitt. It is our man David Croft, the voice of Formula One. Lovely to see you, Crofty.
And you, Leith, how's life in Adelaide, mate? Good?
It's going very well, thank you. Not as exciting as yours, though. I wouldn't have thought that being, when you're the voice of Formula One internationally, that might be the coolest gig ever. And then
It's not a
someone
bad
says,
gig.
you know what, Crofty, let's put you in a Hollywood blockbuster with Brad Pitt and make your life even cooler.
Yeah. I've got to say, this has been a lot of fun to be a part of. And do you know, I'm just really chuffed that the movie has gone down so well with fans of F1 and non-fans of F1 as well. I've had a lot of really positive comments about the film, which I think, look, whatever you think, you know, of the plot and whatever you think of the acting or the commentary or whatever, it's a terrific 2.5 hour watch. And I've seen it 3 times now, so I think I'm qualified to say this, to be honest. But it's when did I first get involved? 3 years ago. I got called in Monza 3 years ago to a meeting with Jerry Bruckheimer and Joe Kosinski, and sat down. And I'm suddenly thinking, oh my lord, this is a heavyweight meeting here. I've got Top Gun Maverick Man and I've got Pirates of the Caribbean Man, amongst other things, both of which are brilliant films, and I absolutely love them. And they're now having a chat with me about wanting me to be in their movie. And I'm first of all, so why me? And they admitted that they originally thought they'd get some actors to do the commentary. And Lewis Hamilton, who serves as an executive producer on the film and has got very, very involved in the film as well, helping almost choreograph the racing scenes and helping sort out fact from fiction and making it as authentic as it can possibly be. Lewis turned around and said, well, look, if you want to make it authentic, then you need the voices of the sport. And that's Martin Brundle and David Croft. So you've got to get Martin and Crofty on here, which I thought was a very nice thing to have on your CV. You know, how did you get this job? Lewis sorted it out for me. And they said, yeah, so we're coming to you because Lewis says we need you. So are you interested? Took me about 2 seconds to go, well, you know, I can possibly be persuaded on that one. And that's kind of how I got involved. So Martin and I went into a studio and we did about 19 hours of voice recording for this. And we said to the producers, straight off, look, I know you're going to have a script, but if you could not script as much of it as you possibly can and give us a synopsis, tell us, you know, what's led up to this moment that we're going to commentate on, and then we'll give you the authentic commentary. And if you like it, brilliant. And if you don't, then we'll go back and we'll redo a few things. But at least it will be a genuine reaction to what we're seeing on the screen. And that's what we did in a recording studio in London. As I say, over the course of 19 hours, we did 5 sessions, and we did a couple of bits of filming in the commentary box as well, one of which you can see at the end of the movie, and just gave it our best shot. And there's at least 3 scenes where I definitely think they've used my first take and my first reaction to what goes on, including the bit in Monza. And I think you'll know that bit. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. That's my genuine reaction to what was a very dramatic scene in the film. But yeah, Martin and I just did our thing. And working with Joe Kosinski was an absolute treat. It was an absolute delight. You can see how Joe gets the best of all the actors that he works with, because he is the most positive man, most positive director to what you do, but yet still isn't afraid to say, look, I love it, but let's just do it this way, or let's just try this thing. And at every stage, it's just full of positivity. And it just makes you feel really good about what you're doing, you know, for him and stuff.
The authenticity is amazing because you would not be able to tell. We're so used to you, and we can hear you talking about Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, but all of a sudden Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce are in there, but it's not forced, it's not organic, which is a credit to you and the filmmakers, because you genuinely believe that Brad Pitt and Damson are driving in this film.
Well, because they're genuinely driving when you see them on the track, and they are behind the wheel. And what the movie makers have done so fabulously is stitch in and put into real life racing the Apex GP cars. It's like we went through a season in preparation for Cadillac's arrival. We went through a season with 11 teams on the grid, and one of the great things about this movie is the way that Formula One has just opened its arms, opened its doors, and totally bought in to embracing the movie makers. There's a scene in Abu Dhabi where there's a red flag, and you see all the cars and the drivers and the teams in the pit lane. That actually happened. That actually happened outside of the racing that weekend in Abu Dhabi. They managed to get all the teams to agree to this bit of filming to make it look as authentic as it possibly could be, which I don't know of many other sports that would open themselves up in the way that Formula One has. And that is to F1's credit and adds to the realism and the authenticity. And I think one of the jobs that Martin and I have, saw it quoted as we're the Basil exposition of the F1 movie. If you're an Austin Powers fan, that will mean a lot to you. But we're there to explain a bit as well, because we're acutely aware that, yes, F1 fans like yourself will go and watch this movie, but there will be people who don't understand the sport. So it needs half commentary, half explanation. So you're not completely lost as to why this scene is so relevant. And hopefully we've done that well enough so it doesn't sound too forced and too fake. And it was interesting. I had a bit of feedback when I posted some pictures from the premiere, and people were saying that we love those explanations because that's what you do on a Sunday anyway. It's part of the commentary. You do that quite regularly. And I'm thinking, actually, yeah, no, we do, because we're acutely aware all the time that people could be joining us for the first time.
Well, it's funny. So my wife, I'll be honest, she's in it for Brad Pitt. She loved it because she's like, he is still the biggest film star on the planet. How hot is he all these years on? And yet I'm excited because I'm like, there's Crofty and there's Will Buxton and there's, like that whole world to combine those two. And I think that, I don't think the film would be as strong if they decided to use all Hollywood actors. I love the little cameos that we see in this.
Yeah. I think Fred Vasseur and Zach Brown make a great cameo in it. Gunther Steiner has a little cameo too.
That might be the best cameo in it, I think, the Gunther one.
I think
That's
so. Yeah, and very relevant to the plot as well. My colleagues Rachel Brooks, Natalie Pinkham also make a little cameo appearance. Even Roscoe the dog makes a cameo appearance and has his name on the credits as well, which I think is utterly beautiful. But you mentioned Brad Pitt. I went through the entire filming process not meeting Brad at all. I think I was the only person in Formula One who hadn't seen Brad out and about at racetracks, because when he was doing his stuff, normally I was in the commentary box and kept missing him. And then Martin and I met him. Martin had met Brad a few times beforehand on the red carpet in New York. So first and foremost, we're in the middle of Times Square, and Formula One has shut down Times Square for the premiere. Premiere was at Radio City Music Hall, and the red carpet was in Times Square. And I was talking to Lewis and saying, no, 19 years ago, when you came into the sport, did you ever think we could do something like this? He's like, no, this is crazy. Utterly crazy. Once upon a time, people in America hadn't really heard of Formula One. And now, we're up in lights and we're taking over. So we met Brad, and I was a little nervous kind of walking up. Didn't need to be, because he is just the nicest man in Hollywood. And I went up. He'd just been doing a whole lot of interviews, and he did every single TV camera on the red carpet, and he was just about to do some photos, and thought, I'll take my opportunity. And I walked out, I said, Brad, got to say hi. I'm Crofty. I'm the commentator. Oh, Matt Crofty. Oh, great to see you. And then he saw Martin as well. Mine, oh man, it's so good to see you too. And he said, look, you guys really legitimized everything we did, and we can't thank you enough for that. And Damson Idris was saying that, very much the same. There's a scene where Damson is racing against Lewis Hamilton, and he said, mate, the hairs on my arms stand up when I watch that back, because that's me up against a 7-time world champion, and you're giving it absolutely everything in the commentary, and it just makes it feel like it's the most real thing. So we had a chat with Brad, and we posed for a selfie, because you got to do a selfie, yeah,
of course.
And off we went, and then fast forward a week, and this is one of the perks of being in this film, and we're in London for the premiere in London. And as a reward for doing his exams, his GCSEs, I took my son, my 16-year-old boy. And we'd met a few people, from the film, and some actors, and Also met Tate McRae, which was quite nice as well, because my stepdaughter is an absolute massive fan of Tate McRae, and so I got Tate to do a little video for my stepdaughter, because we were going to see a concert the next night. But I said to my son, I said, "Do you want to meet Brad?" And he said, "Oh, you don't know Brad, Dad." I said, "I do." I said, "Yeah, me and Brad, we're best mates. We're best mates." Kind of stretched that a little bit. I said, "Come on, I'll go and introduce you," thinking this could go really wrong. And we walked over and I went, "Brad, how's it going?" "Crofty, oh man, good to see you again. Oh, how was New York?" Chatting away. And I said, "Need to introduce you. It's my son, James. James, Brad, James." At which point, Brad Pitt turned around and went, "Hey, Crofty Jr., come on, give it here." And James now, is 10 foot tall and thinks that life is never going to get any better. And I took a couple of photos of James and Brad, which of course he then sent out to all his mates because he just met Brad Pitt and he was very excited.
That is awesome.
And one of his mates, and this is the best ending to this story I could ever come up with, and it's not my line. One of his mates messaged him back and went, "James, first rule about meeting Brad Pitt, nobody talks about meeting Brad Pitt." Which I thought for a 16-year-old kid, that was a fine line.
That is very.
I'm happy to plagiarize that at any time. So
you are father of the year. That's going to be a very hard story to top. Just quickly for people, the logistics of it. They actually, because we heard all these stories through the news, so they were going to real races, weren't they? And then I guess when there was a time, they quickly jump onto the track, shoot what they needed to, and then got out of your way.
Yeah, that's right. They did their filming on the track, and there were times scheduled within the normal race weekend. At Silverstone, the Apex GP cars were right at the back of the grid as the cars set off on a formation lap, but it didn't interfere with the running of the Grand Prix. The cars were safely out of the way by the time it was lights out and away we go. And yeah, they did some filming on their own at tracks as well. There's some great CGI in the film. The bit in Monza when I asked the director, was it really raining when you were filming this? He went, "No." Joe, he said it was bright sunshine actually. I went, "Yeah, but it's pouring with rain." Amazing. He said, "Yeah, CGI, Crofty, CGI." I went, "Wow, this is so realistic," and it is. You think it's proper rain, and it looks like proper rain, and it was fabulous. But that's what I say about Formula One opening its doors to the filmmakers, and saying, right, whatever you want to make this film as good as it can possibly be, we will try and accommodate, and they did.
I think it's the best racing film I've seen. I previously thought Days of Thunder, might have been, but this is. As I say, I'm taking my wife who does not know a thing about the Formula One. And it was interesting to see that the session that we went to, there were older couples, there were younger couples, there was a kid in a McLaren jumper, there was like a five. So you've got every age group, like Drive to Survive has done on TV. This will certainly do for the movie. Before I let you go, and congratulations again, we're so thrilled to see you in it. The one sport question I'll ask you is it's amazing how much in the time the movie's been made to now, how much has changed in your Formula One world. There's Christian Horner, no longer there. There's Gunther, no longer there. Ferrari, no longer there. Drivers have changed teams. It's crazy.
Well, it's a fast-paced sport. Things move on apace, and who knows what may or may not change before 2026 as well. And the news came out about Christian last week, which was a surprise, I think, in terms of its timing. And I feel for Christian. I don't think he deserved to be let go in the way that it transpired. Whatever you think about what's happened in the last year, both on and off the track, he built that team up to the global force that it is now. From the ashes of Jaguar and Stewart Grand Prix to a multi-race winning, championship winning outfit that now makes its own engines, is now building its own wind tunnel, has increased its staffing and its footprint at its base. And he has worked tirelessly for 20 years and has done an extremely good job for Red Bull. So probably deserved for me just to be treated a little better on his exit on that one. But, there are various reasons behind that. I don't think it's the last we'll see of Christian in Formula One. I think he'll be back. As you may or may not seen in the speech that he gave to the staff, he admitted that and revealed that he was under contract until January, so he remains, part of that Red Bull stable, but effectively on gardening leave now. And let's see where he turns up, and let's see if Max Verstappen stays at Red Bull, or if Toto Wolff is serious about having him at Mercedes, and is he serious about a move? There are a lot of questions to be asked at Spa next week. It's 2 weeks off, and we've all got plenty of questions to ask when we get back.
It is extraordinary. As are you. I used to brag to all my friends, the most famous person in my phone is the world voice of Formula One, and now I can add Hollywood star to that as well. Congratulations, Crofty.
Thank you very much.
Well done. David Croft, he is an absolute star, as we know, from the voice of Formula One. But go and see it, folks. It doesn't matter if you don't love Formula One or not. You will at the end of this film. The movie is called F. In it, Javier Bardem, so many other great amazing actors and a stack of cameos that you will be thrilled with. F1 is in cinemas now.
5AA is inviting you into the studio every afternoon. Head to the 5AA live stream.
Live life your way with personalised disability support and aged care services. Visit completecare.com.au today.
Margie loves it when people comment on her garden.
I love your roses, Margie.
As a keen gardener for many years, it fills her heart with pride and joy.
Just stunning, Margie.
And at Anglicare SA, it warms our hearts to let Margie take all the credit. Anglicare SA's home and community services for seniors can be tailored to anything you need, whether it's personal care, shopping, coordination and clinical services, or gardening. For more, visit anglicaresa.com.au.
The SA Weekend Escapes travel voucher giveaway is back. That's right. SA Weekend Escapes is giving away $75 travel vouchers for your next winter getaway at over 20 hotels across South Australia. Think the Riverland, Port Lincoln, Kangaroo Island, or even a coastal stay at Glenelg. It's your voucher, your choice, your escape. So what are you waiting for? Visit saweekendescapes.com.au and grab your $75 travel voucher today. T's and C's apply.
For 125 years, Calvary has walked beside South Australians through life's most personal moments with quiet strength, deep compassion and unwavering care. Whether it's lending a hand at home or in hospital, or providing comfort in later years, Calvary's people bring heart to every interaction. In every home, in every story, Calvary continues to be a steady, reassuring presence, a legacy of care shaped by those we serve. Calvary, celebrating 125 years of caring for the South Australian community.
Why are we here? What is the nature of reality? Do I really need all that data to listen to history podcasts?
Question everything.
Especially your telco plan. Get the data you need at low prices with Aldi Mobile.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Give lunch a spin at Roulette's Tavern with 10% off seniors' lunches Monday to Friday. Roulette's Tavern, next to Pals, Kings Road, Parafield.
The ultimate road trip sale is back. Gear up with exclusive deals at South Australia's Caravan, Camping and Outdoor Sale. Get caravans, campers, motorhomes, camping and four-wheel drive essentials and pro tips all under one roof. Plus, with free entry for under 16s, fun activities for kids and epic giveaways, there's something for wanderers of all ages. South Australia's Caravan, Camping and Outdoor Sale. 24th to 27th July at the Adelaide Showground. Get your tickets online.
No matter what your lifestyle looks like, if you have a home care package, you can choose who cooks your meals. Local Kitchen Co. is an Adelaide-owned, NDIS-approved provider dedicated to delivering nutritious, affordable, home-style meals straight to your door. Every meal is thoughtfully planned, made with fresh local ingredients and generously portioned. With weekly changing menus, there's always something new to try. So if you've got a home care package and you like your meals locally made and delicious, search Local Kitchen Co. and order today.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
7 minutes to 4, live stream, Complete Care with a K. YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us. Hope you enjoyed the chat with David Croft. Bill says on the text, will there be a sequel? F1 number 2. So, Bill, I had to record Crofty because of the time difference in London very late last night. And we talked about that off air. And yes, I think there is talk of a sequel because this is the number one film on the planet right now. This and Superman are the two biggest grossing films as we speak. So Hollywood being Hollywood, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And it's been such a great boom and promotion for Formula One. There's every chance that they will do number 2. And if so, Crofty's putting his hand up. He absolutely wants to be in it. And Jamie said, if you check out on YouTube, we can all watch Brad Pitt get to drive a McLaren Formula One car. Jamie, thank you. Someone told me in the industry too, I think the cars in the film are not Formula One cars because Brad Pitt doesn't fit. So I think they're F2 cars, but still, you don't lose any of that movie magic. On the back of it, that is a great film, F1. I'd urge everyone to go and see it in the cinemas. What is not a great film, though? What is a turkey? For Turkey Tuesday, we've got 6 bottles of wine to give away, the 3 Shiraz and the 3 GSMs. Dave from South Brighton, small screen, big screen, doesn't matter. What's a film you've seen of recent times, Dave, that was a bit of a turkey?
Well, it's funny you should mention sequels, because the one I'm going to mention now is a sequel. I loved the first 2 movies, which were Beverly Hills Cop, the first 2. Beverly Hills Cop 3 was an absolute shocker. In fact, I'd need 12 bottles of Shiraz to get through that again.
Dear.
I didn't even watch it to the end. It was an absolute worst movie I've ever seen, and I loved the first 2.
But it's got Eddie Murphy. It's got Judge Reinhardt. It's just no script.
It just was... There was just no plot, no story. It was just absolute rubbish.
Oh, see, that's a bummer. Thank you, Dave. This is why I haven't watched Coming to America #2, because the first one is so brilliant and it may be the greatest comedy of all time. I can't bring myself to watch a dud. So I haven't seen the new Beverly Hills, Dave, on that recommendation. Maybe I will not. Thank you for that. Dave is at Clemzig. What's your turkey, Dave?
I was very disappointed with Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Like, it went for nearly 3 hours.
Yes.
The first 2 hours was nearly all talking and mumbo-jumbo, and there was action in the last hour or so. But the storyline was weak. I mean, it's typical of one of those sequels where the storyline's sort of worn out. They've run out of ideas. And I noticed it didn't last at the movie cinemas for very long at all, because I watched it when it first came out, and a week or 2 later it finished. So I figured that
short run
it wasn't a big hit in Australia anyway.
Well, solid recommendation, David. Thank you for that. I also haven't seen that one as of yet. So I'll tell you what I'll do, because you were both excellent calls. Dave from Clemzig with Mission Impossible, we will send you to the movies, because I think you need to go and watch another movie and go and enjoy any of those at the Wallace Cinemas. You'll be able to pick and choose. I would recommend Formula One if you want to go and see that, or the new Superman. Hopefully that will be better for you. The other, Dave, we will send you the Turkey Flat Vineyards, because if you need 12, we want you to drink responsibly. We'll give you 6. So you can enjoy the 6 bottles there, the 3 Shiraz, the 3 GSMs, Turkey Flat Vineyard showcasing the new Butcher's Block wines. Drink responsibly. People are nervous. People do not like when you have sequels or prequels that don't live up to the first. Sometimes when you build movie magic, you've just got to leave it. All right, so we're running a line through Mission Impossible and also through Beverly Hills Cop, the last one. Thank you for your calls, emails, SMS. Been a fun show. Stay tuned. Sports Show on the way with Stephen Rowe and Tim Ginniver next. We will see you tomorrow from 1 o'clock. Little tease, special guest, the great Greg Champion's going to swing by tomorrow with guitar. So we look forward to that. See you at 1.
Coming up next, Adelaide's only local sports show. It's the very latest in sport, live from Adelaide. Enjoy the crisp